Good time zone, everyone. And I know I am a little bit behind schedule, but that happens. No big deal. Take a deep breath. Big C, welcome to my realm. We'll go ahead and get some things started, get some records straight. Because before I was gonna do, play some Xbox and VR, my VR headset decided to die. So I'm checking the percentage of my. Actually, no, I'm not gonna do it because then it's gonna like disrupt the desktop. Benny, how you been? Welcome to my realm. Anubis Gains 429. Welcome to my realm. So, my fellow Virgos, let's just go ahead and listen to some Stoicism, which I highly recommend that you all, you know, check out, whatnot, because this is very important. Thank you to Stoic True Wisdom, their YouTube channel.
You should never tolerate, not even once. Here's why. One, constant lying. If someone lies about the small stuff, they'll definitely lie when it counts. Two, disrespect.
Unfortunately, this is true. Um, White lies can turn to big lies. I mean, I understand there are certain situations where you can't always be totally truthful. The example I like to use is when it comes to, oh, I don't know, you get in contact with an ISP company, they say, did you download this, blah, blah, blah. You can pretty much be honest on whether or not you want to say yes or no, but really just depends on whatever consequence you want to deal with. I mean, in some cases, you just got to use common sense. But when it comes to like those that you trust, like your friend and whatnot, you have to be truthful.
If they talk down to you, don't explain, don't argue, cut them off.
There you go. This is what I do with people all the time. The first hint of disrespect, laugh it off. Second time, warning. Third time, stern, final warning. And then after that, gone. So that's definitely something to follow by.
Three, blaming others for everything. This
Blaming others for everything. I dealt with that recently, and I'm telling you, don't tolerate that nonsense, not even once.
screams zero accountability. It's a red flag you can't ignore. Four, gossiping. If they
Don't ever gossip. Just that simple. Don't do it. It always leads to a domino effect.
talk behind others' backs, they'll do the same to you. Five, crossing your boundaries.
Respect boundaries, respect triggers. If you mess with someone's triggers, apologize, and they still want to act like it's your fault, even though you've done everything, cut them off or just be distant from them for a bit.
The moment you let it slide, they'll test how far they can go next time. Six, playing the victim to avoid responsibility.
Be careful with people who do this. Mostly people who do this have been under extreme cases of trauma and tribulation. If you deal with someone like this and they keep going on, simply just distance yourself. Apologize, do what you got to do, but just distance yourself, let it go. Because if they don't want to get the help that they need, also, Luna, welcome to my realm. If they don't want to get the help that they need to heal, then they're going to see you as a trigger. Just walk away. Ain't no helping them unless they want help.
That's not pain. That's manipulation.
That's manipulation.
Seven, backhanded compliments. It's not humor or kindness. It's envy in disguise.
People who are constantly being sarcastic, all the time. Just, ugh.
Self-respect means drawing the line. Stand tall. Walk away when necessary.
All right, Virgos. So I saw something online. I know this is like from years ago, but what people don't understand is it doesn't matter if it was 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 8 years ago, 9 years ago, or 10 years ago. What you say stands the test of time. And we talked about this, and I understand that this is something that a lot of people are still struggling with, even Virgos. But we're just gonna focus on Virgos because again, that's the whole point. Because you know, I feel like Virgos understand what a Virgo says, and everyone else that's not a Virgo. If you understand, awesome. If you don't, that's cool too. What are the signs that Virgos moved on? So Virgos, raise your hand if you have been in a situation where you saw this person, you met them, you thought they were the awesome person, and all of a sudden, not once, not twice, not three, not four, not five, not six, not seven, not eight, but over maybe 10 times, they just broken your trust. It could be as simple as forgetting your birthday. Camino, welcome to my realm. It could be as simple as they gaslight you. Simple as they only use you for mudding, or they just use you just as a prop or as a toy. You know what I mean? Because or how they treat you like that. Or it could just be as simple as, "Oh, I love you. You're the best. You're awesome." And then all of a sudden, they don't treat you like that anymore. It could be something like they text you and then they stop texting you. It could be something like, "Succubus game. Welcome to my room." It could be something as they used to chill with you and now they don't. Whatever it is, Virgos, we talked about this, about putting the guard down. Put it down. Trust me, a lot of times my guard had to be put up. You have to take it down. If you don't, you're going to make things worse. All right, so I'm going to read some of the comments, from astrology memes. It says, "For me, it's feeling nothing, indifference, and cutting contact. What are yours, or what have you experienced?" So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? And I would play music, but I really just don't want to deal with any copyright issues. Um, I'm only just going to read some, not all of them. Ivory Jaja, welcome to my realm. Definitely cutting contact, responding with the bare minimum. If I'm forced to be around them, like for work or school, I'll be pretty cold and indifferent towards them. The person's forever sorted into the dead, to me, brain file. My emotions towards you will just shut off. I'll become entirely indifferent, and if you try to push me to be emotionally present for you, I'm likely to be ice cold or just cut off contact. I try really hard to get to this, not get to this point. I really do. I work with people for a long time, but when I'm done, I'm done. Virgos, let me ask you something. First, I'm going to read a few more comments and then we'll get to that. I'll stop doing things for you because Virgos are all about acts of service. So even if we just had a raging argument, I'll still cook you dinner. Unless I'm done, in which case you can starve. Nothing but a cold shoulder is probably your fault. Cutting contact. Disinterest in most social engagements with you. Sometimes unnecessary sharp, curt words that I'm overspending my mental energy on you. I will say I have an open door policy to apologies and will accept them on a case by case basis. Start talking to them like HR. It'll take me a hot minute for me to give up on someone. So I'm a Virgo sun with a few plants as well. I'm Virgo. But when I'm done and moved on, I just left an abusive 9-year relationship. I ghosted him basically, leaving him with few words because I knew it would be an argument. If I say anything more, I cut off swiftly, and once I'm done, it's kind of settled. I have good intention. I read energies, and once I moved on, I'm content with my decision. I may appear again cold, mean, rude, or stuck up, but it's just my way to protect myself. I'm emotional to an extent, but I usually cry to myself here and there when I'm moving on. But that's it. I evaluate and judge everyone around me and their pros and cons, and if you've done something to hurt me or to be two-faced, you're blacklisted, basically. And if someone says Virgos are all crybabies, that is not true, but that is just your opinion, man. Yeah, I quite literally act and feel as if a person doesn't exist. Okay, so Virgos, let's talk. Because trust me, I'm guilty of this too. I really am. Uh, Aurel sorry, Aurel Leon, welcome to my realm. I have a bad habit of doing this too. And I just want to tell you right now, you don't have to go to this extreme with people. Okay? You really don't. And just give me a moment to explain as to why you shouldn't go to this extreme. Because once you do it to one person, you will do this to every single person who wronged you. Virgos, let me tell you my tale, okay? First, let me find some music, and then you will have a better understanding as to why I personally feel you should not go this route every time someone screws with your heart. It's hard, trust me, but just hear me. Hear me when I say that you have to stop doing this. Blood Wolf, Nolan, welcome to my realm. Virgos, before you cut someone off in your life, okay? Just hear me when I say this. Put yourself in that person's shoes and think about, what if that was you? What if you dealt with the same situation they dealt with? The heartache, you know, um, the sexual allegations or the sexual, mistreatment, the mental abuse, the physical abuse, and you were just at a breaking point, and then you said or done something, and you didn't mean to do it, and then all of a sudden, the one thing that you hear that person say is, "I'm done with you. I've given up on you." How would that personally make you feel if, hey Jason, welcome to my realm. How would that personally make you feel if you just immediately cut that person off? You know what I mean? And I get it. They've hurt you. They messed you up. They said some things they shouldn't have. They went way, way overboard. But sometimes when you cut people off, right, it just, it really hurts because at that moment you just don't know what you were thinking. And I think I talked about this before, but let me break it down in a way where it makes sense. Once you cut them off, you're going to repeat this pattern over and over and over and over again, and it won't stop. You will do this forever. You will do this when you're 19. You will do this when you're 25. You will do this when you're 60. You'll do this when you're 40. You'll do this when you are 36. But here's the thing. You only do this to, what do we learn? Towards people that are dangerous to everyone, not just you. We're talking about those that are pedophiles, rapists, and all that stuff. Like people that literally, like, in jail, they already say they don't care, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. I obviously cut them off, right? Pray for their families, that's it. But, it's just, you have to really understand the consequences of taking someone out of your life like that. Sound Hedgehog, welcome to my realm. Number one, when you take away, someone like that from your life, I'm talking about like good people, like those that just hurt you unintentionally, and they just said some really harsh things to you, and they kind of like let you down like 9 times. You are showing a sign of unforgiveness. You're not giving a chance for that person to grow. When you cut a person off, you're not giving them a chance to grow. You're not giving them a chance to apologize. You're not giving them a chance to see what they have done wrong so they can be better. I'm not saying that you have to just be all buddy buddy with them. Absolutely not. You just have to kind of distance yourself a bit, but still have that form of communication so they understand that they didn't do anything inherently wrong. Even if they did. Again, because you want them to grow and be better. You don't want them to grow apart and be bitter. And if you already done that, and you already apologized, there's really nothing you can do about it. It's just over then. You just take that as a learning lesson, and that's that. The best method is express how this makes you feel to someone that you care about. After you're done, get advice on how to talk to this person. Once that's taken care of, you need to evaluate the pros and cons of this interaction. The pros is if it works out, You still got friendship, yada yada. And then you also have to evaluate the cons. After that, give yourself a break. The bare minimum, in my humble opinion, is a week. And just say, look, I'm going to be busy. I got this. But here's the thing, if you're strong enough, hey, Jeremy, welcome to my room. If you're strong enough, do like 3, 4 days instead of a week, right? So that way they don't feel like, oh, I really messed up. Because you don't want people to give up on you, right? Especially when you mess up, correct? So ask yourself these questions before you're ready to cut somebody off. The actions of this person, are they extremely serious to the point where they are hurting other people? The answer is yes. Consider that. Are the following actions of this individual truly affecting me in a physical, mental, emotional manner? If so, how? And how would I range this from each level? So, like for instance, folks talking about, oh, I got my heart broken in VR. That to me is minor. The reason why it's minor is because that is social media and you're dealing with someone that is from the internet who you probably won't ever meet again. Doesn't matter if y'all share pictures, have photos, or moments. That's that. Mom the fourth, welcome to my realm. That's just that. You just have to accept that, and that's it. I'm saying this so you can move on and you can heal. Right? I'm not saying that the memories won't be there. I'm not saying that you won't feel some type of level of pain and hurt, but you have to ask yourself, is this truly worth it? You know? Also, someone invited me to co host, so I'll just accept that. I don't, yeah, I don't have a camera, so I can't co host, but I'm sorry, Firebug. Yeah, I don't have a camera. So, I mean, I do have a camera, but, but yeah, make sure y'all check out Firebug. Yeah, check out Firebug and see how they're doing. But anyway, as I was saying, you don't want to completely cut people off. Evaluate it, give your time to yourself to breathe, and admit how things make you feel. Well, how do I do it then? All right, I'll tell you. I dealt with a situation where I known someone for a while, and I considered them a friend. And ever since this friend has focused on something else, and they asked me to do a certain thing for them, I personally feel like it's just like they only see me as one way and not the other. That's how I see it. They don't see it that way, but that's how I see it. So therefore, I feel like I'm wasting my time, wasting my energy, and I should move on to something else and just cut ties for a bit. See how extreme Virgos get? No. The correct answer is just to slowly allow yourself to communicate. Hi, how are you? Hey, Braden, welcome to my realm. What's going on? Just go back to the basics. When you're hurt, Virgos, just go back to the basics. Just go back to hi. Go back to talking about the weather. Just go back to how it was when you first met them. Keep it simple until they decide to grow up. They decide to admit what they did was wrong, or you decide to admit what you did was wrong. Y'all both apologize, or one of y'all apologize, and then y'all go back to what y'all were doing, but slowly. You do it slowly, piece by piece, until they earn your respect back. That's normal. That's what you do. But don't immediately cut somebody off just because they hurt you. We're all human. We all have done it. We've all hurt someone. Black man, welcome to my room. We've all hurt someone that we didn't mean to hurt. It could be a teacher. It can be, your own doctor, believe it or not. It could be your parent. It could be a friend, a pet. And you have to just own up and ask yourself, Jason, welcome back to my realm. You have to own up and just ask yourself, is this worth holding a grudge over? All right, because grudges are dangerous, and grudges can actually hurt you more than it hurts that person. So, going back to my example, I had to ask myself as I was walking around, how what is the severity level of what just happened? Is it that terrible? All right. good to see you. Welcome to my realm. And everyone, make sure you check out Ari and check out their streams. We're just simply talking about, we're just talking about, Virgos and how they are so easy to just cut people off. So I'm going to go ahead and change the music to something else. I don't know. There we go. So yeah, hey Brady, welcome to my round. So that's just pretty much all I gotta say. So first, ask yourself, yeah, pretty much my whole thing is I'm a naturally born hated Virgo, and I pretty much am going around helping other Virgos to heal from their past pain. Because from what I've researched from throughout the many years, is that there's a lot of Virgos online and even in real life that are hurting, even those that are successful, even those that are, just constantly going through the motions of life, and those that pretty much have podcasts, they're hurting, and they're trying to, figure out how to heal from this and whatnot. Even those that go through therapy. So I, as a Virgo who went through this, is just trying to help those who dare seek my advice to just, to pretty much give them like an idea of like the mindset of a Virgo, so they won't be surprised. So not only am I helping Virgos, I'm also educating people about Virgos, because a lot of people they say, "Oh, Virgos are this, Virgos are that." I simply just want to help them and give them some tips and advice. So right now we're just talking about how to help them like let go of things and certain people that are toxic, but the consequence of how you just automatically just let go of someone. So as stated before, you have to evaluate the severity of the situation. So I had to ask myself when I was dealing with this: is this extremely serious to the point where I can't interact with this person anymore? Is this something that happened in real life, or is this something that happened online? If it's online, the level is kind of like in the middle, but at a lower level. Oh, someone said something or did something that I really didn't like. Is it really that big of a deal? No, not really. It's not that big of a deal. So you just kind of gotta move on from that. Iron Mafia, welcome to my realm, and make sure y'all check out Ari. Ari's amazing. He do like wrestling, shows and everything. Tegan1065, welcome to my realm. So, in addition to that, all right. So once you evaluate, hey Nugget, welcome back to my realm. So once you evaluate what that person did and ask yourself, is it really serious? So looking back, right? And I look back at how I act and everything, I say, okay, it's not that serious. Yes, it may have hurt what I went through. And no, I may not have had that chance to explain this to them, but one, is it worth explaining? And two, is it really worth being this frustrated? When I tell myself, not really, it only happened online, it didn't happen in real life, then the severity level condenses down. So when I look at it that way, it's like, okay, has this person truly hurt you in the past? No. Has this person shown that they cannot be trusted? No. So you gotta, Virgos, you gotta ask yourself these questions before you get like really angry with people. What has this person said about me that may have questioned the friendship a bit? Blah blah blah. They had a crush on me. Okay, that is questionable. So all of this you have to ask yourself, and then once I had to ask myself, and then once that all equated to, what, I can still make this work, then you just simply take a break from them just a little bit, not too long, think about it, and then bam, get some help, and then bam, there you go, try again. Just don't go at it real fast saying, oh no, I forgive you. No, 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 no. You have to simply take it slow, very slow, because this person hurt you, this person did what they did, because that's what I'm dealing with, and you just have to take it slow. So how they communicate with you is how you communicate with them. If they don't say hi, or they only say hi and nothing else, you just say hi. If they don't ask how you doing, don't even bother. You know, you got to teach them to get back into that mode of things and how to communicate with you. They'll get it. But if at that moment they could be going through something, I had to tell myself this, they could be going through something, and maybe this is just their only option. So they're not thinking about this, they're not thinking about that, they're only thinking of themselves. Virgos, if you deal with people like this, think about it from a logical perspective. Everybody's hurting and everybody's going through something. So them having this attitude isn't all that bad. You get what I'm saying? So so you just got to understand that you have to take it step by step. When you're angry, frustrated, just breathe. For example, here's another good example. Um, you deal with a restaurant. The restaurant didn't get your order right, and you dealt with them like 6 times. You say, "Oh, I'm done with them." Look at the situation. Evaluate it. Is this super serious? Okay, they got my order wrong, but is the food fresh? Can I digest the food? When I eat the food, does it give me a heart attack? Does it give me indigestion? If the answer to all of those is no, mostly no's, then guess what? Just give them a little break. You can give them another chance. You have to evaluate it, Virgos, instead of being frustrated. If they talk to you, let them talk. Yo, what's up, homie? How you doing? Yo, let them talk, man. Let them, get it out. If they call you an asshole, stuff like that, that's cool. Let them call you an asshole stuff. But at the same time, you know, you got to let them talk. Don't shut them down because Virgos are good for that. Let them talk. And once they're done talking, you just say, I understand, yada, yada, yada. And you either apologize or whatnot, or you just don't apologize, especially if you do anything wrong. And you state how things make you feel. And then in a positive way, in a way where it makes sense. And then that's it. And then Virgos, you will feel less betrayed because the only reason why you feel betrayal is because you never allow your emotions to come into play. But you don't allow yourself to talk and speak. People don't know how you feel unless you tell them. Hey, when you keep calling me this term, I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable now because I don't see us like that anymore. You got to let people know or they will keep doing it. All right. Or if you don't speak up, they'll just keep doing it. So that's what you do. All right. That is what you do. That's how you do it. And you're teaching them. And they may not like it at first, and that's okay. But you are setting that boundary and you are still keeping that open relationship with them, especially if you care about them. If you don't care about them and they are really a terrible person and there's a lot of cons and you got other folks and other signs telling you no, cut them. It's just as simple. Josie, welcome to my realm. Now, that's that for moving on. Before you move on, evaluate the pros and cons. If there's more pros than cons, then talk about with others and then move on from there. Don't just cut them off immediately. It's a bad habit that Virgos do, and it has to stop. Okay? All right. Because trust me, I've had those moments where I would talk to people, and then all of a sudden they stop talking to me, and I'm like, oh, that dude's over wrong. Evaluate the whole situation. I'm going to give another good example, okay? I was going to make sure that nothing displays on. Okay, cool. So I'm just going to go on a particular site where I message somebody, right? And I don't know. So I'm just going to, check my messages. Oh, I haven't heard from these folks in a while. I haven't heard from them in 2 days. Okay, let's evaluate the situation. Sometimes, Virgos, you have to look back at the messages that you sent. Maybe everything that you sent was just too much for them to handle. And maybe in their mind, they're saying, oh, well, maybe they just need some time to themselves. Or maybe, if you really think about it, they could just be busy. Maybe they're just dealing with so much right now that they just don't want to hear it right now. So, Virgos, speak less, listen more, and you want to deal with those type of confusing moments of, uh, you know, miscommunication. It's just you gotta understand that it's not always you. Okay, versus mad, they treat you a certain way, yada yada yada. It's not always you. Like for example, you send a message to someone on Discord, and it's like, huh, they stopped talking to me. Well, ask yourself. Sometimes you just gotta ask them. You know, Specifically, like honestly, look, it's been X amount of days. What's going on? Are you okay? Is there something I did? What can I do to improve upon, our friendship and everything? And they'll tell you, like, hey, I don't need you to tell me all that stuff. It made me uncomfortable. Some people will just straight up lie and just won't even tell you that makes them uncomfortable because they don't want to hurt you. But if you can show that you can handle it, they will be more open and tell you, don't do that again. It makes me uncomfortable. You know, that's how you deal with it. It's just life. So again, and I should go on more on this topic. Virgos, if you want more respect from people on social media, you got to treat it like you're talking to a child while respecting adult boundaries. So, for example, with kids, you have to talk to them kind of like less. You got to do the same thing with adults on social media. Not all of them, but just some of them, especially when you meet them. Hi, hello, or just don't ask how they're doing. Some people don't like that. Just say hi, wait for a response. They don't say hi, there you go. Leave them alone. They are sent you the message that they don't feel like talking on social media. They rather talk to you on somewhere else. Maybe instead of just saying hi all the time, send them a meme. People like memes. People like figure out what topics they like and send them a topic on that. Don't have full long blown conversations with people. I don't care if they say, "Oh, I love full blown." No, they don't. They're lying to you. You hear me? They're lying to you. Just simply just keep it simple. Hey, I thought about you. What do you think of this article? You'll make their day. Sometimes you just got to keep it simple with social media. Keep it simple. Hi, yo, what's up? What's good, my frizzle? Whatever. However, they like to communicate with their friends. Match that same energy. If they like you for you, you don't have to do that. But when it comes to like communicating, that's just how people are. Listen, I failed at this multiple times when it comes to social media. And I'm going to talk more about this on Friday. That's one of the biggest mistakes is how I communicate on social media. Sometimes you can be too much for people. Sometimes they just want a simple hi, and you only have to send an article. Some people just don't like links. They think links are a waste of time. They think reading is a waste of time. They think learning is a waste of time. And with some people, they just don't want to be in that mode. You can't force them. You just have to just simply just. Now I always say hi. You could just send them, a news article, like a news article that's not super offensive, just something that's funny. Just sometimes you just have to. Most of the time, you have to keep it simple. I try, okay, but you also have to again evaluate this situation. They're busy. Maybe their phone. Maybe they dropped their phone. Sean, welcome to my realm. Maybe they dropped their phone in the toilet. Maybe they're in the middle of a fight. You're messaging them. You wonder why they haven't talked to you. Maybe they're in the process of being homeless, and even though it shows they're on green, but their phone got cut off. You don't know the situation of someone else. So before you hit the I'm done button, evaluate the entirety of the whole situation. See what you've done. Apologize for what you've done. Rio Mikage, welcome to my realm. See what you need to improve upon, and that's going to help you. You know, we have a bad habit of wanting to communicate too thoroughly with people. Some people don't like that. They don't want to be communicated thoroughly. They just simply just want to be communicated like a meek child. Keep it simple. Here's, as an example, here we go. Also, Virgos, please stop using GIFs and GIFs and all of that. Nice. Burley, welcome to my realm. So yeah, that's all you gotta do, Virgos. It's really easy. Like for example, this is just off topic for a bit, but just how Virgos communicate. You know, you deal with your mother or father, they constantly communicate with you about we need to do this. You listen, you talk less. Hey, welcome to my realm. You listen, you talk less, listen some more, get a pen and paper, and then you repeat back to them. If I heard this correctly, you want me to blah 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 blah. That's what I said. They get an attitude, that's fine. They say, I understand. I'm just seeking clarification. Usually I'm fully attentive, but right now I'm just having a lot on my mind. Just two major things. And just make it two. Okay, not three, not five, just two. If they stop to say, well son, well, what's going on? Don't. I'm fine. Well, this happened online and this happened at my job. To you, it may be simple. Don't say that either. Just say what you got to say and say how it makes you feel. Maybe to them, you could be right, but they don't want to. They don't want you to point them out like that, like making them feel like, oh, what you go through isn't, all that, because it is. Because people are learning that even the smallest things can turn into something big. All right, your feelings matter, Virgos. They really do. Don't downplay how things make you feel. Please don't do that. Like, for example, the fact I have to get up at 8 or 9 in the morning to take care of something that should have been taken care of, whatever, it's a little frustrating. It's a little tiring. Because I'm thinking to myself, when we get a new lawnmower, there may be a broken one. But guess what? That's okay. That's life. But hey, I admitted how it made me feel. I didn't hold it in. I just said, oh, I can't. No. However, this is going to be a learning experience. And I'm going to have to probably deal with this when I get older too. See how preserved. How you doing? Thanks for the spam. Appreciate it. Appreciate the company. So that's just pretty much that. You know what I mean? And while I appreciate the spam, this is the wrong time to spam. So time out. Time out. Breathe. Relax. Okay? I appreciate you sharing. Thank you. Breathe. Relax. Calm down. I just need you to calm down, please. You're up here at a 10. I'm not at a 10. I'm here at a 3. So I want to be calm and it's late at night. Thank you. Appreciate the shares. It's very helpful. Now we're going to go to when a Virgo is, you know, done with someone. Oh boy, this one's kind of tough. When a Virgo's done with you, they Aiden Borch, welcome to my realm. When a Virgo's done, they just completely excommunicate with you. And all I gotta say is stop. Just stop. Before you go into this mental rampage, think about how it's gonna make that other person feel. Well, they didn't think about how I feel. No. Think about how it makes them feel in the long run. Not the short term, not the short run, the long run. If you have someone that's a good friend and they fuck up, all right, they screwed up, um, one good time, give them another chance. At that moment, they were being immature, they weren't thinking, and that's just the way how some people are. They're immature. They don't think straight. They don't know better. Nightcore, welcome to my realm. Magma Shark 009, welcome to my realm. And along those lines, you just have to be more empathetic. Empathetic means seeing it from their point of view, not yours, because your point of view is not always right. So in the situation where, when you mod for someone, this is just an example. When I was mod for someone, don't think about yourself. Think about it from, hey, I'm happy for them. What they did was kind of fucked up back then, but it's okay. They're mature now. They understand the error of their ways. I'm not going to hold that against them. I'm going to look at what they have learned now, what I've learned, and how we can move forward. That's life. It's not holding someone, to a cross. I highly encourage people to look up this video. It's very, very powerful. I've listened to it last um what was that? What was it? Yesterday, because today is Thursday. Happy Thursday, everyone. Sorry, good time zone on this wonderful Thursday. And it's called I think it's To Win You Must First Betray Yourself. That's a good one. But I think the one that I was looking for is about no, I think this was 2 days ago. The truth about, you know, hell being a punishment. Please, please, please pay attention to what is being said, okay? Not based off what you believe, based off what is being said, because it's all true. And that's, Virgos, is what you do to people when you cut them off. You put them in their own little mental hell because you want them to suffer, feel everything. Again, we only do that to people who are actual terrible people who have hurt millions and thousands of people. We're not going to do that just because they hurt you. Okay? IRS, welcome to my realm. So, well, they hurt me and they said all of this. So, step number one, stop focusing on how they hurt you. Say how they hurt you. Don't focus on it. Write on a piece of paper. When so and so did this, I felt blah, blah, blah. And this is what I thought about doing, but here are the consequences behind that. Here's what I want to see happen. That's how you handle it. As you get older, more mature, you will know how to handle those type of situations a lot more effectively. King M11, welcome to my realm. So number one, stop focusing on how things make you feel. Focus on, you know, not, how it makes you feel, what you're feeling, releasing it in a healthy manner, getting help, talking to people effectively, especially the ones that hurt you, so you can move on and be happy. So not how, what you're feeling, state it, let it go. Number two, do your research and ask for help. Ask for help and, talk to people and then do your research. Okay, this person did this to me. Why? Okay? The why should just be based off of the one thing, not multiple things. You can do multiple things, that's fine. But the one thing, right? Because a simple thing reveals a lot. This person was asking for this, and as soon as this was taken care of, they now abandoned me. You say they abandoned you because you're going based on how it makes you feel, but you're not looking at the overall picture. You're looking at, they hurt me, right? And I didn't do anything to them. You're right. They were a jackass. They shouldn't have done that. Don't remind them how much of a jackass they are. You got to let them know. You don't have to remind them nothing. Let them see how much of a jackass they were to you. Understand? You do that by still being you and being unmoved. But let them know it hurts. But you are unmoved and you still do what you need to do. Being cold to them can be a sign of immaturity if it's towards the wrong person. If you do it towards the right person, then you'll get the right results. You get what I'm saying? So understand, please understand this. Mr. Blackscreen, welcome to my realm. So please understand this, right? The cold shoulder and being done with people. No, you have to state what makes you feel, not how it makes you feel. And on top of that, you have to do the research. After you do the research, you need to, you know, ask for help. After you ask for help, then you evaluate. Okay, now what do I do? Jojo, welcome to my realm. So then after you get all of this data, right? What you simply do is now you have to heal by letting it go. After you talk to that person, simply let it go. So, and sometimes with some people, you don't even need to explain yourself. You don't need to go so deep in saying, I don't like when you keep calling me this term. It makes me. Sometimes you don't need to do that. Your actions will show better than do that because you can't stop a person, right, fully from bad habits. If it's stuck in their brain, you started that with them, and that's the relationship you started with them. Good luck trying to break that from them. You can't, say after 2 years you be calling me that and I'm sick of it. No, you have to slowly let them know that makes you uncomfortable. Sometimes you have to do nonverbal cues, but do it in a way that's respectful. You know what I mean? You don't have to always lash out and get mad. Just show them, nah, you can't call me that anymore. No, thank you. How you respond says a lot. And then let them ask, oh, that makes you uncomfortable? And then tell them straight up, yes, it does. You're teaching them how to respect you without you lashing out and getting mad. That's how you win. And then after you're done, if you're able to come to resolve, slow communication. Go back from how it was when you first started. Sometimes you have to go back. Can't be friends. We gotta be acquaintances now until we can go back to being friends within a week or so or a month or so. Because you're teaching that person they need to grow up and they need to ask themselves, how do they truly see you? When you do this, you're learning, they're learning, and no one's getting hurt. But when you go to certain extremes, like cutting people off at certain platforms, that's how you can make things worse. The only time you should do that, Virgos, is if you really don't want to deal with that person again. So if you don't want to deal with them again, and you've already done your research and people already told you what to do, then you can make that decision. But know this, once a person likes you and they really like you, it may take them a while, but they'll change from their ways and they will be the most mature individual ever and you won't even recognize them. Give people the benefit of the doubt when they do improve, Virgos. And last but not least, if all else fails and you've done everything, y'all issued apologies and whatnot, before you say I'm done, before you say enough is enough, before then, before you can go full Virgo, simply walk away. Just walk away. And in a rare occasion towards someone that you know is a bad individual, then yeah, go ahead, go full Virgo on them. Be brutal and whatnot. But again, only towards those who are actually bad people. Not just because they hurt you in a way that's, it doesn't matter if it's serious or whatnot, because how you treat that person, right, is how their family is going to treat you. If that person looks at you and be like, I don't want to know my family. I know I like them, but I don't want them to know my family. That says a lot about how they truly see you. It shows that they like you, but you still haven't fully earned their trust to that level. Let me tell you something that honestly, truly, or earnest to God hurt me, and I will never, ever tell my friend this. I was talking with a good friend of mine, right? And great conversation, great guy. And I'm just sitting here, just chilling, vibing, whatnot. And I learned that this individual, has, a wife, which is awesome. And they have kids. One of my friends bragged that they knew their kids IRL and stated, they didn't brag, but this is how Virgo sees it. And they stated that, oh, yeah, they call me this and they trust me and yada, yada, yada. Now, why in the hell would this hurt a Virgo like me? Because when you meet somebody, you talk with them, you show that you support them, and you are going above and beyond. You're trying to actually be friends with them. And they pretty much state that, well, I trust this person more because they're more mature. To a Virgo, that is the biggest slap in the face you can ever say to them because they will take offense to that. They will say, you're calling me immature. You're saying that I'm not ready. That's how they see it. That's how I saw it. I was like, wow. So after all what I've done and try to contribute to your show, you still look at me as if I can't I can't be trusted with your own kids. I mean, if you want to feel the lowest in your life, if your friend doesn't trust you around their family or their kid, you might as well just bring that friendship back to acquaintanceship because if they can't trust you at that level, something is wrong. Ethan, welcome to my room. Something's wrong. You can't call someone a friend and they can't even at least tell you a little bit about their family. They don't have to show pictures, but it's like, really? That's kind of wow. It speaks volumes about them and mostly speaks volumes about you, Virgo. Maybe there is some parts of you that hasn't fully matured to the point where they can't even trust you. But then, of course, people play off say, "Well, you would have all that responsibility either because." So in a way, it's like user 7103993410158. Welcome to my realm. So in a way, it's kind of like, wow, that's how they see me. That's how they treat. Just it does something to you mentally. It really does because you look at it and you're like, wow, why? Like it just, I don't know. It's kind of funny because a lot of people that are not Virgos, they have like Virgo mentalities. Like there was this one scene with Homelander where he pretty much had this moment where he was talking to like the doctors and whatnot, and Homelander had this moment where he was kind of like put off, and he was like, "Why?" And the doctor tried to explain to him, and that's when Homelander went on that rampage. And what's interesting is Virgos have that tendency to act that way too. Well, toxic one, of course. And but theirs is like they'll go up a level than the other sign. And that's how Virgos secretly feel. If Let me tell you something, okay? I'm gonna make this really easy for people. Virgos, when they're done with you, understand this one thing. And this is so true if a Virgo tells you this personally. They have already given you multiple chances. I mean, these folks will give you 10 chances out of the three that they were really supposed to give you because they care about you. And the moment you say something that is out of character, like you make me uncomfortable, you're the reason for this, consider that relationship done. That Virgo is ready to cut you off. See, in your mind, you're saying, "Oh, I spoke my mind. I said what I had to say. Hopefully, they don't take it the wrong way." If they cut you off, you're done because you did say it the wrong way. You did hurt them. But here's the thing: they gave you warnings. If you pay attention to the text messages, they'll show you. Oh, oh no. Oh my goodness. He or she was trying to say something. They was trying to ask me for help, and I took offense to it. Too late. If you call Virgo skinny or fat, that Virgo is gonna go through an intense exercise ritual and prove you wrong to help themselves live longer. Then, the moment you start being fat, they're gonna judge you. They're gonna look at you. That's their revenge. They're not gonna judge you like ha 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 ha. They're gonna look at you and try to help you, but do it in a way where it makes you feel bad. And then the moment you say I'm tired, I can't do this, they're gonna look at you in their face. They're gonna say, now you know how I felt. That's a Virgo. That's what they do. They'll say, now you know how I felt. Now you know how I felt. And they'll give you a lecture too. And a Virgo that does that to you is a Virgo that's done with you. If a Virgo does that to you, but they do it in a way where they still forgive you and they still want to talk to you, consider yourself lucky. But a Virgo that does that to you, they will do that to you. They'll do a welcome to my realm. They'll do that to you and they'll walk away. And you're done. You're done. Well, how can I help a Virgo to forgive me and help me? Virgos, season ones, will forgive you immediately, but they just need time themselves to process it. They'll come back, but they need time to process it because they're going to look at it and say, my time was wasted. Microwave toast, welcome to my realm. They'll look at it and say, my time was wasted. You wasted my time. That's how they look at you. That when you hurt them, when you do stuff, when you say that, oh, I love you and stuff, and you betray them, they look at it and say, you wasted my time. And when you waste a Virgo's time, game over. You're done. Goodbye. Luna R. Pushbot, welcome to my realm. You're done. You waste a Virgo's time, you're done. And Virgos, don't look at it as wasted time. Look at it as a lesson. It's a lesson. You learned something. That's how you're supposed to look at it. So that's that. If you ever want to know like the anger of a Virgo, listen to Bullet for a Valentine, Betrayal. That song encapsulates how a Virgo feels. And if you don't believe me, I'm going to read the lyrics to you. And while I'm looking for the lyrics, does anyone have any questions? People don't understand this, that what you put out there is there forever and it holds power. This can hold power forever. Songs hold power. You hear me? Because if you're not careful and if you are not educated on how the music is being used, it can be used against you. All right. So I'm going to read the lyrics. Am I going insane? My blood's boiling inside of my veins. My evil feeling attacks. Sorry, an evil feeling attacks. My body shaking. There's no turning back. So take your eyes off the trigger. I'm not to blame if your world turns to black. As your eyes start to blister, there's just no hope for a final embrace. Final embrace meaning final encounter. Last conversation. Done. So here we are. I'm in your head. I'm in your heart. You were told to run away. Warning from the Virgo. I gave you warnings you didn't heed. You soaked the place and light the flame. You were the one that started the problem. That's how they see it. Pay the price for your betrayal. Your betrayal. Your betrayal. Oh, because they'll look for more than one betrayal. I was told to stay away. Gossip and stuff with friends. Those two words I can't obey. Trying to make things work. Pay the price for your betrayal, your betrayal, your betrayal. Inner thoughts from the Virgo. Is it my turn to die? My heart is pounding as I say goodbye. Panic attack. So now I dance in the flames. Dancing, celebrating. It's almost done. Plotting. Planning on how they want to get rid of you because you're done. I love you, crying and screaming my name. They really don't, but they're picking you apart slowly. You said that we be forever. The promises that you stated, they'll hold you to your promises. How could you kill me, lie to my face? Now that we can't be together, there's just no hope for our final embrace. So once again, that meeting, the last meeting, the last conversation, that call. So here we are. I'm in your head. Now I'm in your heart. You were told to run away. Your friends, they told you. Now you sold the place and light the flame. You're the one who started this mess. Pay the price for your betrayal, your betrayal, your betrayal. I was told to stay away, whether it be from the heavens or for people, whatever. Oh, the red flags, but I still want to be with you. I still want to help you. Those two words I can't obey. Pay the price for your betrayal, your betrayal, your betrayal. Go. Mental warfare. So here we are. I'm in your head. I'm in your heart. You were told to run away, soak the place, and light the flame. You paid a price for your betrayal, your betrayal. I was told to stay away. Those two words I can't obey. Pay the price for your betrayal, your betrayal. That is a Virgo's favorite revenge song. Because when they're done with somebody, that's a song that they'll play. Now, if they're really done with you, this is a song that I honestly like to play. This is from Shinedown. It's called Cut the Cord. Freedom. La la la. Freedom, follow me. Freedom. Let me tell you, I'm vicious, not passive aggressive. I got a finger on my pulse staring straight into a hole, and I'm gonna get it. And I'm a savage. It's automatic. I got a way of making noise to power destroy with no static. Now victory is all you need, so cultivate and plant to see. Hold your breath and count to 10, just count to 10. Again, Virgo planning. I'm gonna make it rain, so ring the bell. I know it all too well. Switchblade on the edge of your wrist. Can I get a witness? The guilt trip. Hey, you did this to me. Cause agony brings over world for one more hit and one last score. Don't be a casualty. No, screw you. I ain't doing this crap. Cut the cord. That's why I love this song. And I've played this song for so many people who have did me wrong. Like I couldn't take it no more. I've given them chance after chance. I've given them a year or so. They screw it. Goodbye. Goodbye. Cut the cord. The cord's cut. If you deal with a Virgo that does that, well, that means you screwed up. Because Virgos, as I said before, they will apologize. They'll do everything to make it right before you. But if you don't accept their apology, and if you don't, at least explain to them how they can make things right, oh, they're done. They are done with you. They are done with you. You hear me? Done. D-O-N-E. Done. But again, Virgos, what did we learn today? Evaluate the situation. Ask. Walk away for a bit. I shall steal a brain rot. Welcome to my realm. And then go from there. Only cut people off that are terrible to you. Now, if you deal with someone after you've done everything right and they send you this long message talking about, I'm done with you, you're a terrible person, yada, 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 you did this, and you can't, they blocked you, then guess what? Go ahead and cut them. Cut the cord. The moment they hit that block and ban button, the moment they make you feel terrible and all you try to do is help and be that good person, then guess what? They're not a good person at heart. Cut the cord. You can cut the cord now. I had to do this with some streamers. I had to do this with certain people. And let me tell you something. Ain't nothing wrong with cutting the cord. Some people, it don't matter how popular they are. They don't matter what how people see them. Some people, you just gotta cut that cord. 'Cause certain people just love to hide behind success. They love to hide behind money, but they can't hide behind the one thing, the monster that they became. They can't hide from that. That's something that's gonna haunt them when all the views go back to zero, when the money, is being made in their sleep. They can't run from their dreams. They can't run from the guilt. Because, God's gonna see about his people. That's just how it is. Well, that's pretty much it. I was gonna play some Xbox. Um, not sure if the new Tony Hawk game's out. I can check to see if it's available. I think the new Tony Hawk game is not available. Yeah, hang on. Okay, so the game comes out um in 1 day, 0 hours, 20 minutes. So technically the game doesn't come out till Friday? Question mark? So I think it comes out Friday, but okay, so it says the release date is the 10th, but I don't know. Some people are able to play it, so I have no clue.